Wednesday. Good to see everybody. Hello to my European brethren across the pond. Hello to everyone over there in Aussie land. Everyone over there in Eurasia, where some of you guys are located. Good to have everybody on. Wednesday streams are always fun. These are honestly the ones I kind of skimp out on whenever I have a crap ton of stuff going on at the home here. I was maybe not going to be able to do this one today because one of my sons is in theater, and directly after school he has to sprint over to the theater. They're doing Macbeth, so it's a little stringent on him, a little tough on him. So he's trying to learn his lines and learn to speak with some emotion in his acting. This is the first time he's ever done a play, so I thought I was going to have to go get him. I don't. The show must go on. Welcome everybody, not to Crypto After Dark, but Crypto Before Dark. I gotta update this. I just haven't had time. It's been a bit wild over here on my side. When charts start moving like this, man, I'm on it, and I'm trying to be looking at charts, not trying to be looking at a bunch of graphics and thumbnails and stuff. And I tell you what, it's super annoying making my own thumbnails. I understand why people have a thumbnail guy now, so they can just have them make whatever thumbnail they'll want, and they'll send it to them, and boop, it's done. It takes me a bit to do it. You guys saw the thumbnail. What does a thumbnail mean? Well, first, let's go hit like, everybody. It's free. We have 36 people on, 18 likes. If you go hit like, the more likes we get, the more YouTube shares this around, and the more information gets out to everybody. Hit the notification bell and the subscribe button. I've got a bunch of shit to give away when we hit 10,000 subs. We haven't done it yet. Who all's in here? By the way, if you don't like me saying hey to everybody, kick rocks, bro. Blockchain Backer would love to have you over on his channel so he can bullshit you about XRP and Bitcoin all the time, but I'm not going to do it. So let's jump over here to the people who care, who come on here and talk and ask questions and are a part of what we do, whom I care about the most. When Mullet, what's up, my guy? Walk softly, as the thumbnail said, but carry a big stick. Thomas Guy, you, what's up? Gamer, what's up? Crew Jones, Jag, E. Phillips, Architecture, Bud Wessel, Ray T.A., Delaroy. Costa said hit the button and do the thing. Well, I don't know which button it is. I have to have my headphones on to do it, and I have to have it pre-thought up. So honestly, I didn't. But hit the smash button. Smash the like button. There you go. So stupid when people do that. Manolo, what's up? Warlander, good to see you. Nicholas Gryko, good to see you. Brandful, what's up? Poochie, Letters and Digits, Trevor Harris, Paolo, Keith, your chances to network with Brittany are increasing with this theater thing. Exactly. I'm trying, man. I promise you I'm trying, bro. All right. Greetings from the West Coast. What's up, Aaron? Good to see you. So let's just jump right on into this. I kind of segued into it by using the thumbnail. Literally, this has never happened on a Bitcoin chart before. I'm on the weekly chart. I'm on logarithmic mode here. This is Bitcoin all-time chart, not quite all-time, but it's on Bitstamp. It goes almost back to the very beginning. Nonetheless, all the data is here. What you see in front of you is the 50 moving average, the yellow moving average, the 200 moving average, the red line, the red moving average, and you see them about to cross. This is called a death cross, when the yellow line pierces downward through the red line, or the 50 downward through the 200. This is called a death cross for a reason. Typically, this leads to more down or sideways. And since it's on a weekly time frame, this is going to take a while to play out if this plays out. Now, I want to have some revisionary history here and kind of scroll back through this and show you what's happened beforehand, so you can kind of get a feeling for what's going to happen now, if that makes sense to you. So, as you see, not only are we having a death cross for the first time ever in Bitcoin's history on the weekly chart, for the first time ever, it's also under that white trend line right there at the exact same time. That's a double negative. Plus, the price is under the 200 moving average. That's a triple negative. How can you be hyper bullish right now? Does this all mean doom and gloom? No, does not. I want to scroll back a little bit here and look through and see what's happened before. So we've spent the better part of 6 months plus underneath the weekly 200 moving average. If you can't see that, that 200 moving average is right there. Price is kind of jimmy-jammied around here and not done a whole lot. It recently felt real good that the price went up. Here we are stuck under the 200 moving average. Also, stuck under this all-time trend line right here. Let me erase this. Don't need that up. The all-time trend line here that you see that comes all the way back to 2013. You had a more aggressive trend line here, right? That one broke. And ever since then, ever since 2013, you had a touch here, and here we are today. You could draw this line a little tighter. Sure, you could if you wanted to. Sure. Just happen to notice how accurate it is drawn to those particular 3 wicks. It's crazy accurate. And as you see, we've never had a weekly death cross before. Always the price has been over the 200 moving average and over the 50 moving average and stayed there. And when it did go under, as you see here, it rapidly recovered. It went under, it rapidly recovered. It spent all of 3 or 4 weeks down here, or actually 2 weeks, playing around with this 200 moving average before. As you see, things have changed for the different over here. This is not so great. Typically, whenever you see these moving averages cross like this is what we call a tits cross. Price reacts by going toward that crossing and then continues to do more. I'm going to pull up the Dow Jones, which is a very old chart, to give you a better understanding of what I'm kind of trying to say here. We can kind of look at it on the Dow. And as you'll see here, a similar story has kind of played out. All right, so I've got some death crosses labeled here for you. But back in 2002, April 2002, you know, right when the market started to react negatively, before that, you had a death cross where the 50 moving average rolled through the 200, and look what happened after. Another 27% bleed off on the Dow Jones. At the time, this was the second largest downtrend in the history of the Dow Jones. None other than seconded by the original Great Depression. So, from there, we got a golden cross where it's moving upward from 50 through the 200. Excellent. All this, meanwhile, over the trend line. Right? This is under the trend line where we're at on Bitcoin right now. So, furthermore, back to 2008, downward cross, really hard sell-off here, all the way down to right near the trend line after the cross. Then, golden cross, 50 through the 200 moving average, and off we've went since, and we've not had another death cross since. Now, one could look at this and say, well, you're never really going to have a big bull market until you have a golden cross. It's fairly obvious that there's no uptrend on a high time frame to drive the price to a fairly large number unless we have a golden cross. So, where does that leave us? Well, that leaves us wondering here, because this is the first time it's ever happened on Bitcoin. What's going to happen? Well, precedent says we're going to get more down and sideways. And I'll pull up some more of them here. This is from the 60s all the way through the mid-80s. Over and over again, death cross, golden cross, death cross, golden cross, till finally this thing broke right past this high time frame line right here. Once it broke this white line, as you see right here, off she went. You could even argue that it back tested or got really close to a back test. Golden cross happened down here, broke trend, and ever since this point, November 82, you've not really looked back. You had your moves down here, of course. But ever since then, you've done nothing but maintain. Even through the Rona. Maintained. Immediately responded and pushed right back up like it never happened. So, one would ask, well, why is this happening on Bitcoin now? Why didn't this happen last time? Last bear market? Good question. I was looking over this, kind of trying to get a feel for it. These green vertical lines that I've drawn here, they kind of represent the same point in the timeline every single cycle. If you'll see here, you had a downtrend, and then January or February came about. Downtrend, January, February. Same thing here, downtrend, January, February, right now. All right, so they're kind of, if you look, evenly spaced and pretty darn cyclical. Well, typically right around this time, we have a little bit of up. As you see, we've had this every single time. This one kind of went up and sideways. This one kind of went straight up and then rolled over. And here we are again, kind of up and sideways again. Nonetheless, we tend to get some sort of peaks in the spring and in the summer. You got two peaks right here, spring, summer. Right here, you have pretty much just one peak, summer. And here we are wondering what we're about to get. And since we've never been under this trend line, since we've never had a golden cross downwards, making it a death cross, you're left curious going, wonder what happens here. Well, why did we get in this situation to begin with? Well, you could blame Rona, and you could blame the fiscal responsibilities of people freaking out and bailing if you want. I'm not going to do that. What I will say is Bitcoin didn't have the blow off top that it had previous bear markets. And here's what I mean. So if you look here, you had a very clean down and a very smooth up. Very, very clean, beautiful run. And this one, you had a very clean down and an up that was interrupted with more down before it went up. Okay? Kind of like a cup and handle. Not exactly, but kind of like a cup and handle. You could argue that Rona set us back a certain percentage, and I'll pull fibs to show you what I mean. If I go from bear market to the bottom down here and kind of pull it over here where you can see it, you'll see that we broke through every take profit fib, 1272, 1414, 1618. Now it stopped at those and thought about it and kept right on going through the 2 fib all the way to 21414, which is insane, right? Back another step to the previous run before that. Similar situation. This thing went up and away beyond that. And that was back the first time we had a halvening, which was way back here. Kind of tough to do this because I don't have much data back here. You could argue that it goes all the way back here. This thing went way past the 2 fib, way up in there to like the 4168 level. All right, way up. Here we are now. Same situation, bear market, bottom, drag it over where we can see it. We kind of only did a 1618 here. We didn't have that big blow off top like we typically do. Had the price ran up here, somewhere up here, you'd have seen that weekly moving average. Instead of stopping where it did and turning over, you'd have seen this weekly moving average go much higher. Right? It wouldn't have stopped here. It would have kind of rolled over at this point. Something like that. Instead, what we got was a shorter bull market percentage-wise, right? Not time-wise. It was pretty much identical on time. Percent-wise, kind of slowed us down. So you could argue that this would be something like this maybe, or something of the sort where that line kind of faded up differently. And we wouldn't be in this situation where we're faced with a difference of one market to the next that we've never seen before. So I'm left wondering, where are we going from here? So I can't look at this triple negative in a positive light. I can't see trend line, 200 moving average, downward death cross, all at the same time, not to mention we've hardly had any red in 2023 at all. You know, the last few days we've had some red, but even altcoins continue to jump up and run. So I'm going to say this. For me, my plan here, I have a quick trigger finger. As soon as I see something point me into the direction of, all right, man, we're done, I'm going to start bailing on my positions. I'm already up like 15, 20% total on my investments this time. I'm doing pretty darn well. That's from my whole entire trading portfolio. I didn't use it all. I used part of it. I still haven't went all the way in. I bought a lot of alts, mostly alts. They've done very well. And I've tickled one of my numbers that I wanted to see, one of my psychological numbers that I wanted to see. I haven't quite gotten to that big one yet. I was hoping to get there before this retrace happened. I mistimed the market by about a week and a half, so give and take, no big deal. This leads me to think this is at least going to roll back over to 20,000. When we get to 20,000, things could change. We could have a bit of a rev up, and that'll be next week, likely, when that happens, because that weekly death cross is going to happen beginning of next week. And like I said, that'll be the first time it's ever happened for Bitcoin. We're going to see what the market does with that. You know, it's been very up lately, but honestly, this rollover that's happening currently kind of gives me pause and makes me say, okay, wonder how far this is going to drag the market back. Now, I'm fully prepared when we get down to 20,000. I'm fully prepared to sell when I see a sell signal. And then if prices run back down to that 20,000 level, where I think they may run, I'm fully prepared to unload right there. I will set a stop loss, and I will prepare for more gains. And if they don't happen and we go down farther, I'll hit my stop loss and I'll sit back and wait on the market to finish correcting and then go more. If this fails and takes a really, really gnarly run down, we may hit those low teens that everyone's hollering for, but there's no guarantee of that. All right. Honestly, the longer this takes, the less likely I think that happens. Now, speaking on the weekly chart having a death cross, let's look at daily. The inverse, daily golden cross. So you've got a daily signal saying, hey, yeah. And you've got a weekly saying, nah, hold up. So we're left in the wash. Do we get more of what we're doing where we're kind of jogging and slowly up and slowly down and jog and slowly up and slowly down while that weekly imbalance continues to change? Or do we get total and complete failure? Well, I don't know yet. I don't have a crystal ball, and there's no reason to pretend like I'm some kind of mind reader. I don't know, and there's no reason to do anything different until I see everything start to fail. Bitcoin is holding on by the ragged edge at the moment on low time frames, still hasn't failed. Multiple other assets still continue to try to make their move toward or beyond the 200 moving average. And we can look at those in a moment here. Let me go answer some questions real quick. Sorry, that was a long ass monologue. What's up? Hey, by the way, if you haven't done so, 71 people on, 35 people like. Y'all go hit like, man. The more people who hit like, the farther YouTube pushes us. We want to get pushed as far as we can push it. Someone asked me the other day, how far do you take things, Keith? Like, I see you're trading. How far do you take things? I'll say this. I'm not going to tell you guys to do that because it's your money. Do what you want. But for me, I'm going to push the envelope on purpose. I want to push the envelope because I don't know where the edge is until I get there. I learned last bull market what to do and what not to do leverage-wise, spot-wise. I learned a lesson on asset management as far as gains. What should I do with my gains? Where are more safe places to put them? And I plan on unloading those strategies after this next bull market. But that isn't going to happen until 2024, 2025, perhaps the end of 2025. So once we get there, that's totally different. But, you know, for the example, I learned a lot of valuable lessons. I'm going to push it, and I'm going to push it more safely this time. But I'm still going to try to take it to the edge if I can. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. You ask anybody who ever made a big leap, and that big leap teaches failures, right? And I've learned through my failures in the past already, and I will expect to fail some more. There's no problem with that, so long as you can learn a lesson from it. Yeah, EJ said no emotions. This is exactly right. What's up, brother? EJ, by the way, good to see you. Let's see. I'm gonna sneeze. He said, push it. Yeah, push it real good. I'm gonna sneeze. Hang on. Goodness. I didn't feel very good when I woke up yesterday, and I did the same thing this morning. I woke up and I kind of felt off. You know what I mean? Same situation. So anyway, that's my Bitcoin analysis. That's the thumbnail. I want everyone to remain careful. If you're not practicing safe trading strategies, you're not doing it right. You might as well be Caroline Ellison. And I'm not going to tell anybody to be Caroline Ellison. I'm not going to tell anyone to fuck a house full of dudes. I'm not going to tell everyone to fuck each other. And I'm definitely not going to tell everyone to go without a stop loss. Stop losses are your friend, not your enemy. Set them fairly. You know what I mean? Set them fairly. Understand that there's going to be losses sometimes. That's part of the game. If I were perfect, I would be a billionaire. But I'm not perfect. So no reason to try to be. Just get as close as we can. Could I do a read on Metis? Sure, let's look at Metis first. And freaking Borat just brought up CRO. Ugh, I want to bring it up, but it's frustrating me, so I'll do it in a second. Let's look at Metis first. Metis has been great. We've been talking about it over in the Discord. If you haven't done so, check out 786unlimited.com. That's got our Discord, our Launchpass links. There are 3 specials going on right now. You got 3 choices. You can either get a $120 yearly crypto subscription, and you save a little bit of money by using crypto. You could do a $144 cash Launchpass subscription, and that gets you 1 free 30-minute consult with me for free. That's a $75 value for free. And you could do the monthly option that we've always had for $16. 1 month for free, so it's a little cheaper than it would be. Jump on in there and check us out. If you don't like it, you can cancel in a month, and there's nothing lost, right? There's nothing lost. We do this stuff 24/7, 365. We never stop. We have guys all over the world, and that's not an exaggeration. All over the world. All over the world. Blows my mind, as a matter of fact. All right, so Metis we've been charting here, and we saw on this short time frame right here that it kind of rolled up and hit take profits, one line so far. I want to warn you, though, this hasn't failed the trend. The trend is still up. All right, this was a downtrend. It cracked the downtrend here, retested perfectly, and has since went up. Let's draw a trend line. We don't have to be super perfect with this. Just get close, folks. Just get close, okay? No reason to be a maniac with your lines. That's pretty darn close. Pretty darn close. We can put the 821 EMA up there, and that'll kind of give us a little bit of a line to walk in the sand. You see we're well over the 200 moving average. We're in between the 8 and the 21 EMA at the moment. This is the wait a minute zone when you're in between the 8 and the 21 EMA. This means wait a moment. Just wait and watch. And that's exactly what a lot of you are doing anyway. Just wait and watch. Best case scenario, this thing bounces the 21 EMA, which is the purple line there, which is also right next to the trend line, and moves up more. Worst case Ontario, this thing breaks downward through that white line, breaks through the 21 EMA, and runs to the 200 moving average, which is about $26.25. One of those is going to happen. Up to you to decide on what to do. I'm not in this particular token, but I will say it's performed very, very well. If we look at some of our indicators, you'll see that we have plenty of bearish divergence everywhere. MACD rolled over. All of them look like this, and all of them have continued to go up. And since that's the case, it's been hard for me to say, yeah, oh, this is definitely a sale. This is definitely a sale. I'm just doing trend analysis and taking it super simple at the moment. There's no reason to get cute with all this stuff. So long as we continue to follow the same moves, there's no reason to freak out. That's what I'm seeing here, and that's what I'm going to continue to follow. Metis has been nice. Let's look at CRO. This is disappointing. CRO has been a disappointment. I'm going to be upset by looking at it here. It's drastically underperformed. Really has. As compared to most, CRO is still far beyond touching the 200 moving average. We've seen assets move toward the 200, and I'm going to show you one just in a second here that's already done it. But you still have this trend riding up right here. It hasn't failed yet. Just go already, right? I've got a piece of this. I'm waiting for this to run up to this 200 moving average and potentially to this 236 fib on the high time frame. Really just depends on what the market does. CRO is not in charge. It's not a mega cap. It's a mid cap. And because of that, it's just going to be subject to what the market does. There's no reason to do anything silly here. It's not a sale yet, right? But just has underperformed. And let me give you the exact same chart, only one that's performing. That's Presearch. It's identical to CRO. The only exception is this thing ran up and tagged that 200 moving average in my green box perfectly. Perfectly. It's exactly what I wanted to see happen here. It still isn't a sale. You could have took some profits because many have hit this 200 moving average and failed. There are also many have just went on past. That's why I have another profit box up here. All right. Now, I don't know the future and I don't know what everything's going to do, but I do know this thing broke the downtrend line, tested it, and made a beautiful run. Short-term trend up. Everything looked nice. I need to see more from CRO to be similar to this. Let me give you another example of one that looks just like this that I also got in, and that is near right here. There you go. Similar situation as CRO. Had the exact same look. You know, short-term trends are up. You had a bit of a pennant form and crack. It went through the pennant and has sprinted toward the 200, but has yet to hit it. And as you see, there's resistance right in here, and that's why it's having a hard time. Okay, it's not easy for this thing to break through that zone. Right, so if it does crack the 200, you've got the 382 fib up here. You see this one's a little farther along as far as movement because it's already at the 236 fib and above it, where CRO is still below it. That's why every chart needs to be charted separately. They're all a little different, right? These are two examples of a similar look, but a different position. All right. Let's see. Can you take a look at FTM? Yeah, FTM finally had a little bit of a sell-off here. All right. So if you're following it tightly here, It looks like it back tested the trend line. You had up and up and up and up and up. Then it's broken the trend. It appears it's broken the trend. Back tested it. I'm going to go down to a lower time frame so you can see it a little cleaner. There you go. Rode the trend up. Back tested it right here. Not great. And has since failed. It's already broken the low right here. It's likely to print a lower low on the next 4-hour or 8-hour chart. It's likely to print another low. I would assume a 200 moving average touch here is in here somewhere. It hasn't touched the 200 moving average since the beginning of January. On the 4-hour chart, I would expect it does that at some point. That would be roughly support right around 41 or 42 cents that I would see a retrace running back to first. It just makes good common sense. And as you see, it got very close to touching that profit. Well, actually, within 0.25% of touching that take profit box. Close enough for government work. Pretty darn good charting. You're welcome. AGIX, short thing, Nate Lambo. He's been around a long time, brother. Thank you for being here. I know you guys have been around for a long time, and I appreciate every single one of you for showing up. Those who are in the comments after the video just to talk shit, brother, I'm not going to waste my time with you anymore. You can show up and talk and try to incite me to say angry things. And every once in a while, you'll get a little bit of a ruse out of me, but then I wise up and I quit. So, similar story here on AGIX. While this looks like a bearish engulfing, it is, right? You've got a bearish engulfing going on. We've seen these bearish engulfings happen, and the thing just reversed back up. What you're probably going to see here is a jog sideways. Let's see if it can catch up with this 8 EMA and 21 EMA right here. Let's see if it can catch up with those and hang on to them, because if it fails this yellow line, that's probably the point where I would walk away. Everybody do their own thing, though. Fuck what I say. It has made an amazing run. It's tried to breach all-time highs. They might not actually be all-time highs, but it tried to breach them, which is incredible. I assume this may actually breach all-time highs if it has the time to do it. Really just depends on what the rest of the market does. AGIX has performed amazingly. Amazingly. Let's see. I'm beginning to feel a certain way about CRO. Yeah, mine's just annoyed. That's what. MTRM. Let's see what you're talking about. MTRM. All right. Yeah, look at that thing go. You're right. Goodness. Ethereum. You know, we were talking about this over in the Discord. By the way, if you haven't done so, the links are down below in the description of the video. Man, jump in there. It's free. It's free. It's free for general members. You can sign up for a subscription if you like. If not, fine. But either way, I've made it a point for guys to give me information on newer coins like this, because something we noticed in the last bull market was that newer coins, as they developed, did extremely well. And the waves were so big on these new coins and so much money came in through them that we saw amazing gains. Amazing gains. There was no AVAX the last bull run. There was no Solana. There was no FTM. There was none of that. There was none of that shit, right? As the market was created, the bull market happened, another bull market happened, another bull market happened, and here we are waiting on another one. And I guarantee you there's going to be some new tokens like this that come out, and they're big hitters. When I say big hitters, I mean big percent. I don't care about the team. I don't care about the fundamentals. I don't care who they are. I don't care where they're from. If it's a scam, I will not be locking tokens up. And if it's going to scam out and get caught in a situation where the CEOs sell everything off, I will be one of the first ones to get out. I like to take my profits, not lose my profits. That's all there is to that. One more. Would love to see Gala. And this will be the last one because we're already at 30 minutes and we got a question and answer after this over in the Discord. Gala, rolling over on the daily, maybe quitting for the time being, but it wouldn't be unheard of for this thing to run back to this 200 moving average. I sold on my Gala at 41 cents. No, yeah, 41. Shit, I don't remember what the price was. And it still continued to go past that. If it wants to roll down here to this 200 moving average, I forget the exact number. I have to go back and look. 40 something. If it wants to come back down here to this 200 moving average at 40 cents flat, that'd be excellent. That's also where the 236 fib is, and that's kind of what I expect here. Gala to run back to this point. Now, could we fail more beyond that? Yes, we could. I doubt it. It's possible this thing comes back and retests this big trend line, That would really hurt a lot of people's feelings who were hollering, the bottom's in, the bottom's in. I don't do that shit. That's the cute way to get sued. So nothing much to report on Gala until it does that. But thank you all for coming. This was super awesome. 30 minutes goes by really fast, unless you're one of the haters who wants the shit to go by in 10 minutes, like I'm going to do 10-minute live streams. That's so stupid. Anyway, thank you all for being here. I'll leave you with these 2 quotes in the words of Jay-Z. Make the best of your todays, the worst of your tomorrows. And in the words of the late, great, notorious B.I.G., you could have been anywhere in the world. You guys chose to be here with me. I appreciate that shit more than y'all ever realized. Thank y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Live stream 11 p.m., 1 solid hour. Zoom after for all the members. We got a Q&A happening over in the Discord, 786unlimited.com to get entry. I'll see y'all there. Sky's the limit. Peace.